This lady right here, she's in trouble. Do you know her? Okay, she's the daughter of this man. You've seen him before? His name is Jacob Zuma, the ex-president of South Africa. So this lady right here is under investigation after a sister accused her, a half-sister, about what? For luring 17 South Africans into Russia and Ukraine war under a false pretense. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. We're going to go through Africa very quickly to see what's happening across the board. Your first time, you're very welcome. Let's go. So this lady, like I said, her name is Duduzile Zuma. She's the daughter of a former president, this man right here. She's in trouble with the court. Why? Because her sister, her half-sister, took her to court. Why? Because she accused her of luring 17 South Africans into Russia-Ukraine war. How is that possible? Well, apparently they had a situation where they were hiring people to go work in Russia. So Duduzile Zuma was reportedly involved in a company that was hiring people to go work in Russia. And among the 17 South Africans that were hired through her, 8 of them were part of a family of her half-sister. So these people apparently went to Russia to work. I mean, you offered an opportunity to go work in Russia. You come from a country where there is not necessarily jobs for everybody. And you get a great opportunity to go work overseas where you're going to get earning money on foreign currency and stuff. You want to help your family and do great. Then you find yourself in Russia and all of a sudden you go train as a security guard and acquire skills. I mean, South Africa needs many security guards. Matter of fact, South Africa has more security guards than they have the army and the police combined. You know that, eh? Yes, South Africa has a lot of crimes. A lot of it. Now, some people ask themselves questions to know are these crimes really crimes or the organized crime? Because why isn't the government doing something to finish the crime? Because, yeah, if you kill somebody and they put you out there and they shoot you too, chances are many people won't kill other people anymore because people are scared of situations like that. Violent people are scared of violence only. When you shoot somebody and you're arrested, you put in jail and you pay bail and you get out again, which happens very much in South Africa. You can understand why there are so many killings because you're going to pay bail or you're going to pay money to some policeman who's going to steal the docket and make it disappear. Anyway, get back on track. There are many security companies in South Africa. So some of these 17 South Africans went to Russia, some to work, some to acquire knowledge on security. They finally found themselves in the Donbass fighting against Ukraine. You remember a couple of days we spoke about some South Africans stuck in Ukraine and asking the government to fly them back to the country. But the government apparently did not give precision on how those people landed in Ukraine. And they didn't explain were they fighting on Russian side or Ukrainian side. It wasn't, but you remember that situation, yeah. So apparently these people are part of those people that were reportedly hired by Duduzile Zuma, according to her sister. The case raises serious questions about recruitment network and whether South Africa has been exploited by foreign conflict. And also, Duduzile Zuma is a prominent figure of the Mwekassa party. If proven correct, the case could strengthen relationship between South Africa and Russia because South Africa appears to be neutral in this situation. There are many questions people are asking, like your half-sister takes you to court over a situation. Now, you must ask yourself a question. Why would your half-sister take you to court? I mean, Mr. Zuma has many wives. He's got 6 wives apparently. It's normal. It's the tradition among Zulu people. Zulu people, it's the tribe of Shaka Zulu, if you heard of it. They can marry many women. And it's not limited to South Africa because many places in Africa, people can marry many women. Polygamy, for some scholars, was embedded in African culture. In fact, marrying one woman was something imported by the West. Yes, Africans could marry many women provided they had the ability and the finances to do so. Now the question is, why would your half-sister take you to court? Apparently because amongst the people that were sent to Russia were direct relative to the half-sister. Here rises another question. Did Duduzile know about this? I think it's very difficult to say that she knew about this because why would you do that to somebody as close as your family member? Obviously, there are many questions being asked. Did these people know what they were doing? Did they know they were going to be fighting in Ukraine? Maybe promised a lot of money, and as soon as they got there, they were like, oh, we didn't think this is going to be this complicated. We want to go back home. And when going back becomes difficult, then people lay charges and stuff like that. Let me know how you feel about that. And now we're moving to Kenya. Kenya on the map, beautiful place, lovely people. President Ruto of Kenya has announced that Uganda will acquire a stake at the Kenyan pipeline company Congratulations. Congratulations. So this is beautiful. The Kenyan president just announced that Uganda could acquire a stake in Kenyan pipeline company.
The government of Kenya will be divesting up to 65%. And I am happy that Uganda is prepared to co-invest with us, because that Kenya pipeline facility is not just a Kenyan facility. It is a regional facility.
Meaning they can have a co-ownership system with Uganda. Which pipeline are we talking about? It's called the KPC. KPC is a Kenyan pipeline company. It's a state-owned corporation that transports and stores refined petroleum products. It's one of the country's most strategic infrastructure companies, acting as a backbone for fuel distribution from the coast inland. So as you understand, this is a pipeline company that transports fuel from the coast inward into the continent. You can see on the map, Kenya is next to the sea. So Kenya get fuel coming from the port, then send the fuel inland, not just in Kenya, but in multiple countries. Kenya distributes fuel to Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and DRC. Now, is this refined fuel? Yes, it is. Does Kenya produce its own refined fuel? Unfortunately not. Kenya stopped refining petroleum in 2013 when Kenya Petroleum Refinery in Mombasa ceased operation. Since then, Kenya has been importing petroleum. So the petroleum comes from Asia and other places, refined already. In 1960, Kenya had its own refinery, created by the white man. Then they left it to the black people and they mismanaged it and they effed it up and it went to the ground. In 2013, they closed the company. Now they are forced to import refined petroleum from Asia to distribute to other African countries inland, as if Africa does not have petroleum. It's very sad. However, Kenya sees this as an opportunity to make money. Kenya built pipelines going from the coast in Mombasa, you see on the map, into Nairobi. Now, from Nairobi, trucks transport the petroleum from Nairobi to other countries, into DRC, Rwanda, Burundi, and other countries. Now, Kenya has offered Uganda a part of the share into this pipeline company. Ruto described the KPC as a regional property, not just a Kenyan asset, meaning it should serve the wider East African region. So he's basically saying, this is for all of us, not just me. Okay? Now, the question is, why is William Ruto doing this? Is he trying to please the president of Uganda or what? Remember, a couple of days ago, president of Uganda was very angry, saying, why can we not access the sea? Why don't we have the right to access the sea? It feels like somebody living on a second level of a building having to pay the person on the ground for pizza delivery. Now, every time I order pizza, I have to pay you a piece of my pizza because I live on the second floor. Why? He was mentioning that because of the import and the export, which has to go through Kenyan ports. And whenever they went through Kenyan ports, they have to pay a percentage, levies and stuff like that. Ugandan president felt it was not nice. And even said that this could prompt wars in the future between Uganda and Kenya.
The political organization in Africa is so irrational. Some of the countries have no access to the sea. For economic purposes, but also for defense purposes, you are stuck. How do I export my products? That's why we have got endless discussion with Kenya, then this one stops, then another one comes, then the railway, the pipeline, the what, we discuss. But that ocean belongs to me. Because where is my ocean? I'm entitled to that ocean. In the future, we are going to have a war.
Now, is this a move by the president of Kenya to just try ease things up? Say, hey, brother, you can buy into this. You can be part of this situation, It doesn't have to be just Kenyan. You can buy shares. Let me know how you feel about that. And now we're going to Gabon. Yes, Gabon. Gabon is an interesting country that was led by one family for about 54 years. The father stayed there for 42 years. And after him was his son, this guy, Ali Bongo. Ali Bongo became very, very sick. And the country was very tired of him. After the election, the very last time, which he had won, people say, no, you didn't win. The security guard of his father, this man right here, he was the bodyguard of the father, overthrew the son. Fortunately for him, he wasn't unalive. This is Ali Bongo asking the world to fight for him after his family was in power for 54 years.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, president of Gabon. And I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world, to tell them to make noise. For the people here have arrested me and my family.
As you can clearly see, the man was very, very sick, but he still wanted to be president. That's the thing with African presidents. They get in power, they don't leave power. That's the problem. They don't know what democracy is. Anyway, former First Lady Sylvia Bongo Ondimba and her son Norodin Bongo Valentin were tried in absentia and sentenced to 20 years in prison for embezzlement and money laundering. This marks a symbolic break from the practice of the ousted Ali Bongo regime. So basically, the family was running the country as a business. The wife was getting opportunities in business and bringing in investors and making money for the family. The same thing was being done by the son. So this man, who was the bodyguard of the grandfather of the son, decided not to hurt him. I mean, this is him. Listen to him talk here.
Don't make any other statements.
Understood.
That's what we agreed to here. Life isn't about harboring grudges in the end. What happened is just a stage. It's better that it's us here as a family than someone else. If it had been another soldier here, it would have been a disaster. It would have been worse than this. You weren't in prison, you were here. Maybe the conditions weren't the same as at home, but you weren't in prison. And I even told President Macron that they are not in prison. Let's stop making you believe otherwise. Today we're setting you free. There's no revenge. There's no need to say, I'm going to get revenge.
He's basically saying, listen, we could have hurt you, but we decided not to hurt you. Okay, so be happy with it. It could have been worse. So just go, whatever that is. After they left the country, obviously, they tried them officially in absentia, 20 years in prison. Let me know how you feel about this. Africa, it is Africa. Dudu Zuma under investigation after his sister accused her of luring 17 South Africa into Russia-Ukraine war under the false pretense of jobs. Can a sister take her own sister to court for situations like this? Pipeline in Kenya, it's happening. Is this a good thing for Africa or not? Let me know how you feel about this. It was a real pleasure. God bless.